So I just got back from seeing Renfield in theaters, and my god, was that the stinkiest pile of dog shit I have ever seen in my entire life. That movie was beautiful. I am elated right now. That movie has made my year, my life, my fucking century better, dude. There was so much that happened in that movie, I can't even gather my thoughts. And Nicolas Cage, too, has gotten so much better at acting over the years, it's actually crazy. His acting in that movie was somewhat passable. I don't know what genre that film was. That was something that was completely unique in and of itself. All the trailer says is Nicolas Cage vampire, and then the rest of it is completely unfollowable and like changes from every trailer. And when you see the movie, that's literally all it is. It's just Nicolas Cage vampire. Technically, the main character is Renfield, who is the guy who works for Nicolas Cage's character, who's Dracula. But Renfield is not as good of a main character as Dracula is in that movie. So, like, it's kind of... There's so many people that you can choose to be the main character. It's like a fucking choose your own way game. This movie is told from the perspective of 5 different people. There's 8 subplots at one time. Nicolas Cage's character wants to take over the world, so he has this whole subplot where he's plotting to control the universe. The cop lady, there's like a cop lady in the movie who has a whole subplot about how her dad was a cop and how he was like one of the best on the force, and now she has to live up to his image. And then there's a whole nother subplot about the actual main character, Renfield, who the movie is about, where he had a family and then he left them and he's like trying to get out of this abusive relationship with Count Dracula. You can somewhat tell what's going on. It is almost bad enough to where there is no plot, but it's almost intentional. It was definitely not one of my favorite Nicolas Cage films. And then there's scenes in the movie where there's so many plots going on that it's hard to follow just one. But there's like this whole other plot, another one, about this whole mafia gang and how they're the most powerful in the city. And this kid from the gang like wants to fucking rule the empire. But for some reason, they introduce the kid as the main villain. And then they switch it and they're like, oh no, he's just an idiot, but his mom is the main villain. They switch halfway through, and it's so weird. I don't know why they did that. They so easily could have just had this kid be the villain, but for some reason, they split him into 2 characters, and I have no idea why at all. Like, maybe they didn't want to be predictable? I don't know what was going on with it. That's another thing too, though. Every single beat in the movie was so predictable, you could see it from a mile away. I was wearing X-ray vision goggles. I could see through every plot in the film. It was so weird. Like, I couldn't tell what was happening, but I knew what was going to happen next, if that makes any sense at all. There was this one moment where the dude grabs this guy's face and pulls it off like a fucking napkin and chucks it, and his whole face is bloody Hannibal Lecter style. Oh my god, it was so great. The gore in that movie was somewhat reminiscent of like a Mortal Kombat game. It was a cinematic journey that I am so glad that I went on. My life is now better for having seen that film. So for me, the movie definitely scores a 10 out of 10. That experience was something completely in and of itself. And yeah, that's it. See ya.